Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about this new NPM package that I found out called SCI and cy.skipOn and selective testing. So a long time ago, I wrote this article about selective testing with Cypress, and cy.skipOn is one of the fundamental plugins that I use to make selective testing possible. So it's one by web. It has plenty of options like skip on browser. It could be OS. It could be usually we use it for the environment like skip on local and then just run this on dev. Plenty of ways of using it, and we use it uh, ubiquitously at work. Uh, it's quite nifty. Um, you can also use it with side tasks, so you can get some value from side task, and then so if you have like some node-only logic there that you want to run in the browser, side task is there. Very cool plugin. Now, what what I always wish for in this is like there's local, there's deployment, there's all that, but some way to detect am I in the CI or am I local? So usually what we do is like is this Linux or Ubuntu, right? If it's on Ubuntu, don't run it, something like that. But it's not always very helpful, right? Maybe some developers have Linux, Ubuntu locally, they never use Mac. So it's not always foolproof to make it that way. So I found out about this other library called SCI. So it gives you a true if something's running in a CI. Otherwise, it gives you false. And then I used it I actually first saw it in a completely unrelated place about Node.js best practices. So this is also how I use it at work. Here it's using SQL, I think. At work, we have DynamoDB. So it's running unit tests, or you could maybe doing local testing. And if you're in the CI, always clean stuff up. But if you're locally, leave stuff in there with some certain chance. So when you keep running the unit tests, let's say you're in watch mode, it doesn't clean up all the database. So when you subsequently run it, things are faster, right? So this is basically the logic that enables that this CI. So I thought, why don't wouldn't these combine pretty nicely with Cypress Keep On? So let's try that out. So I have this template and I have the simple test with the V template. Okay. And I added Cypress Keep On. So all you have to do is in your support E2E. So once you add it here, it's basically you'll have access to it everywhere. It's okay to add it. I mean, you can just add it here too. It doesn't matter. If you add everything under E2E, it may slow things down, but Web's plugins are pretty neat, and this is like a utility plugin that you may want everywhere. So it's okay here. Um, the one thing it doesn't have is types. So I made up some types for it, and then I'll share this in the PR, but you can take a look. So we can easily use it like so. So let's just, let's see, undo this. I think the original version had skip on. Let's just kill that all. Don't save. Reopen. Spec. No, we didn't have it anyway. So let's just see if it works first. So we'll just say uh, cy give on localhost, and then you should just skip the test, right? You see here, and then we'll just zoom in a little bit like this. Okay, and then remove that. Now, so how would this work with the SCI npm package? So I'll just copy this since I have it here. I already have it installed, so let's just put it here. Uh, let's see if this works, right? We'll just see if this works at all on the log CI. And we would hope to get a false, but let's see. Process not defined. So this probably wants to run in a node environment, right? It doesn't want to run in the browser. So for this one, then we can use site task. So if you also do my lean and mean task and plugin setup, which is in another video, this one is going to be easy to implement. So let's just say we create a new file here. And this could be in a folder, like you can put all your tasks in a folder, which is probably the right thing to do. We'll just call it SCI. And then we'll just paste that in TypeScript file, please. All right, and and I'll slightly change the naming so it's camel case, and it has to be a function, right? And then its CI though it just returns a boolean false or true, and then we'll just default export it, okay? And in our task file, we'll just import it. Import this CI from CI, and then we'll just add the task. So easy. All right. So let's see how that will work. Site task is CI. It's not taking any arguments. So as if that gives us a false, and it gives us a false, perfect. So then that means we can easily use it with cy.skipOn. So we see how web did it here. La la la. This is why you love perfect documentation. So you get the task and okay, perfect. So let's do that. Task CI, then some value, okay, and then give on some value, okay, and as boolean. How do we do this? It's not about okay, good stuff. So this should work, right? It should not skip because skip on is false. So if we like, so this would skip in CI, but work locally. So we can easily just click that, and then it should be skipped locally and then work in CI. So you can use SCI together with cy.skipOn if you don't really have a like nice solution to detect, hey, am I in CI or am I locally? Previously, I used to say, if it is like I used to do this simple thing like cy.skipOn Ubuntu, right? I used to do that and then it would skip in CI. But maybe the CI is not always Ubuntu, so it doesn't always work, or maybe some local devs have Ubuntu, so that doesn't always work. But this one, this one is like a foolproof solution, and you can use SCI anywhere. So I'll share the PR, so I'm just going to push it this way so you can see the PR and the only change. I mean, this is basically, so just make a task and install skip-on out of the task. And I just use it with cy.skipOn. That's it. Cool. Better.